And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the tight ends episode. So today we'll be talking about the 5 greatest tight ends of all time. We will be having to come to a consensus on who these 5 gentlemen are. Not necessarily the order, but just who the 5 guys are. So the only other housekeeping item I have is that unfortunately Wade is not with us. It's that time of year where Wade's work picks up and he's missing an episode here and there. So, hopefully he's back soon. But let's get started. Drew, who is your number 1 tight end?
Oh, number 1?
Or we can go number 5.
Okay, I thought we were going 5.
Number 5. Who's your number 5 tight end?
I thought 5, we'd build it down.
All right, that's fine.
Less
that's
dramatic.
Fine. All right.
More dramatic. I don't know. Well, yeah, number 5, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he didn't fucking make my list.
He's
Travis
not on
Kelce
mine.
is my number 4.
Okay.
What'd you say, Ray?
I said he's not on mine.
Good. He's Wade's number 5 as well.
Okay, so...
So he's not unanimous.
No. I didn't figure he would be, but... I'm not a huge Travis Kelce fan, but what he's done is still, I think, impressive. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time... or 3-time all-second-team All-Pro, so he's got 7 All-Pros. He has 2 Super Bowls. He's part of the All-2010s team. So far in his career, he's got 800 catches, 10,000 receiving yards, 70 touchdowns. And then he's got 7 seasons in a row of 1,000-yard seasons. And then the 2 years before that, he both had 800-yard seasons. So, he was close. He just keeps putting up 1,000-yard seasons, which it is the easiest time for tight ends to put up 1,000-yard receiving years, but still to be able to do it that consistently over the years. And for the most part, he's been very healthy. From 2015 till this year, basically. Well, he missed 1 game in 2020. It was like he missed 1 or 2 games, but out of those from 15 to now, he's only missed 3, maybe 4 games. So,
He's got 12.7 yards per catch and 5.6 catches per game.
And you always feel like whenever you're watching the Chiefs play, he's always somehow open. As much as I hate to say, you feel like Mahomes is always throwing it to him. He's somehow somewhere open.
Yeah.
I just don't get it for sometimes.
Honestly, the way I always view Kelce being open, I look like it is Jason Witten. When Romo was throwing to Jason Witten, it was no matter what, he would throw the ball to Witten, and then you'd be like, oh, Witten's open. Oh, Witten's open. Why is Witten always open?
Yeah.
Well, so when they played the Bills that year in that playoff game with 13 seconds left, he throws a 35-yard, he's running right at the seam. Why is no one guarding him? I just don't get it. But I'm not a huge fan of him, but I felt like he's just done so much for the tight end.
I'm with you 100%. I'm the same way. I'm not a big Kelce fan, but
because it's
I
an
was
asshole.
looking at all the numbers.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
But I will tell you guys why he's not on my list. Because Travis Kelce isn't a tight end. He's a fucking wide receiver that lines up inside sometimes, and he never blocks anybody. So I was like, "You're not a tight end, so I'm not going to put you on my tight end list." Similar to his Steph Curry argument.
Yeah, I was about to say, coming around.
he doesn't block a soul.
No, and he's not even asked to.
No,
they don't ask him to. They just ask him to go run routes.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, Drew, it's not like it's a hard time to put up 1,000 yards.
I would say I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's super impressive. It's impressive, but it's the easiest time to do it.
We're throwing the ball 50, 60 times a game. We play 17 games now.
He's the number 1 receiver.
Yeah, he's the number 1 option on his team. So, yeah. And I don't like him, so I just said, fuck it, I'm going to put him on. Anybody else have anything to add on Travis Kelce before we move on?
No.
Uncle Doug, you still have 5 left, correct?
Yep.
Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Kellen Winslow, senior.
Not junior?
Not junior. Yeah, the one that played for the Chargers.
He's my number 3.
Okay. I liked watching Kellen at Mizzou, and then for San Diego. He did have a short career, only 109 games, 541 receptions, 49 TDs, 6,700 yards, 4 All-Pros, 3 first teams, 5 Pro Bowls. He ended up with 5 catches per game average, which was second on my list, only to Travis Kelce's 5.6. And he ended up with 12.5 yards per catch, which again was like third on my list of the guys I looked at. So Kellen really, to my thinking, revolutionized tight ends. They went from being an extra blocker who occasionally caught a ball to he was a receiver, that blocked some. That was, and arguably maybe one of the greatest individual playoff games I've ever seen.
Yeah, when he played the Dolphins.
When he played the Dolphins that year. It was just unreal.
He just keeps catching the ball, but then again, he just keeps falling down cramping.
Right, yeah.
I mean, but he just keeps coming back in the game, like when he'd sneak back in.
They'd drag him off the field, and he'd be right back in there. Fouts throwing him another pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 16 catches for 213 yards for a tight end.
He led the NFL in catches twice.
Yeah,
as a tight end, and he had 3,000-yard seasons. And we're talking about the '80s here,
right? Yeah, it was unheard of for a tight end to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's how, tight ends used to be a guy that if they had 300 yards, you were like, oh, they had a good season.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at guys that played at the same time as him, and were like Pro Bowlers, and they had seasons of 250 yards.
Yeah.
Receiving, I mean.
What would Ozzie Newsome be playing then?
I think Newsome would have been playing then. I think Casper would have been playing then.
Right, Dave Casper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was definitely a game changer.
Absolutely.
So we're the only two that had him, Alex?
I'm also, yeah, I think so.
Drew and Ray didn't.
No, I told you where he was at on my list.
I know.
He's on the shucks. I should have put him on my list.
Oh, there we go.
All right, Ray, do you have a number 5 left?
I do.
There's your number 5.
Mike Ditka.
He didn't make my list.
No, he didn't.
No.
Ain't no damn Bears going on my list.
Get out of here.
That's how I felt about the Chiefs guy, Kelsey. But it was a wild card pick. I really didn't know because I was excluding a couple guys, including the Patriot. So,
Oh, no.
so I said, "Fuck it." I'll put Mike Dick on there. He's a gritty fucking guy. Rookie of the year, 5-time Pro Bowl, 2 All-Pro, Hall of Famer, NFL champ. Did he get a Super Bowl as a player?
Yep.
So
Or
Super
wait,
Bowl?
does the
No, Super Bowl's with the Bears.
Okay.
He got the or did he get one with the Cowboys? He might have been in with one of those.
I'll say he was on the Cowboys.
Right.
Was he there for a championship?
I don't know if he
Can't
was
remember.
or not.
70, 71, 72.
Oh, it does say one Super Bowl champ there.
Yeah, but that also has his coaching stuff up there too as well.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
What year did the Cowboys win the championship?
That's a good question.
With Staubach.
Let's see.
69, 70.
His rookie year, 64.
Yep, he won a Super Bowl in 71 with the Cowboys.
71.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
So
Where, he had 360 yards on the season.
Oh, shit.
in 1971. So again, he was probably.
I mean, it was a running league back in the day, as we all know.
Yep, and one touchdown.
Yeah. But, I mean, to put in 43 total touchdowns in a running league that nobody really passed to, I thought, fuck it. I mean, that was
13.
pretty decent, I thought.
13 yards a catch.
13 yards a catch.
Almost 6,000 yards for a career back then. How many?
Yeah.
11 years. So.
I mean,
he averaged 13 yards a catch. I mean, that's higher than the last two guys we talked about.
yeah. I mean, it's not super crazy like the other guys who's in this passing
If he
fucking phenomenon.
If he would have kept up what he was doing in Chicago for those years, I mean, if he would have kept having 1,000, 900, 700, 800, if he would have kept doing that for like another 4 or 5 years in the time period he played in, I mean, that would have been nuts. But he just...
And also, I mean, he's probably one of them tight ends that actually blocked. So, I mean, he's probably got it run down trying to block.
Tight ends didn't see the field during that time if they didn't block.
I would say if he wouldn't play for the Bears because George House would have told him you're not playing if you're not going to block for.
He averaged 36 receiving yards a game for his career.
I mean, that's just tight ends for you back then.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just.
that's what.
Nowadays, if you said that, you'd be like, ugh. But like back then, I mean, that was probably a lot.
So yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, he's on there. Let's see.
By the way, he in his career he has 2 rushing attempts for 2 yards. But his career long rush was 11 yards. So does that mean he had a -9 rush on his next rush?
What?
Must have been, yeah. I mean, if he's only got a total of 2 yards and his long was 11.
It's got it.
trying them special trick plays back in the day.
Ray, better put your boy up there on the board.
Who?
Mike Ditka. You only have
yeah.
you don't want to lose your vote.
I'm gonna lose my vote eventually.
Who was Wade's 5?
Kelsey.
Oh, Kelsey.
I think.
No,
Or was his?
Oh wait, yeah, his is Kelsey. Yeah, sorry. I thought you. Yeah, his Wade's was Kelsey as well. All right. Well, I don't have my 5 up there yet. My 5 is Antonio Gates.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Antonio's my 3rd.
He's also Wade's 3rd.
So he's my 3rd.
He's my 2nd.
So,
I like Antonio.
2 3s.
Oh, he's a very good tight end for a long time. He correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he have the all-time tight end touchdown record?
Yes,
Yeah.
118.
So yes, he is 8-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro. He's on the All 2000s team. Not a great blocker, but he stuck his nose in there and tried to do stuff, unlike some of the guys we talk about. Hit a couple 1,000-yard seasons. He had 4 double-digit touchdown seasons. He's at 11,000 yards for his career, which I think is, good enough for 3rd all-time? Is he 3rd all-time in tight ends?
3rd on the ones that I looked at, yeah. So I'm guessing
I
it's
think he's behind Witten and Gonzalez.
Gonzalez,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're at 13 and 15.
And then he's got 116 touchdowns. So
I had him for 118, but I'm guessing it was 116 passing. Maybe he had 2 running or something.
Probably. Let's look on the list here.
So anyway, but he's I think I'm pretty sure for sure he's number 1 all time on receiving touchdowns for a tight end.
I mean, for a long time, he was just Phillip Rivers' escape blanket.
Yes.
I mean, Rivers just throwing the ball all the dang time.
He also averaged 12.4 yards a catch, which puts him right there with pretty much everybody we've been talking about.
Yep.
Right below Winslow and ahead of Kelsey and a little bit below Ditka.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's right in the mix of everybody.
Yeah. So, yep. I thought Antonio Gates was a quality addition to the list. Was he unanimous?
Yeah.
Okay, so he made all 5 lists. Good deal.
I mean,
I would say, yeah, he's definitely one of the ones I felt like should be.
and I felt like when he played with Phillip Rivers, like that's all you heard. Every highlight was Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates. Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates. Like every 5 seconds almost.
And they have over 100 touchdowns at tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he played a bunch, but still, he has.
All right, well, now we're back to number 4s. Drew, do you still have a 4?
Yes.
Who is your 4?
My 4 is Jason Witten.
That is also my number 4.
He's my number 2.
Jason didn't make my list.
Oh. Where did Wade have him?
Yes, he did. Hold on.
Alex, you say 2?
Yep, and
Okay.
he's number 4 on Wade's.
Okay. Oh, well, Jason Witten's 11-time Pro Bowler. He's 4-time All-Pro. He won a Walter Payton Man of the Year. I don't know what that means for anything, but he did it. He has over 1,200 catches, 13,000 receiving yards, 74 touchdowns.
He's what? First in receptions and first in yards for tight ends. And then, third.
Not yards.
He's not first in yards or receptions.
He's first in something.
He's
Games played at tight end.
Those games played. I don't know.
I thought he
What is he? Was he second then on both those? Because he's right there on everything.
He's second in receptions.
Well, he's way high on.
Looks like he's second in yards.
Well, he's
too.
also way high on all the all-time just receiving lists too, even adding receivers.
Yeah, he's top 10 in
I would say we talk about just on the tight ends list. Some of these tight ends we're going to talk about are just high all time anyway.
Yeah,
Like he is. I mean, someone else we're going to talk about here in a minute is. I mean, they're just high up. He's one of the guys that not just high on tight ends. He's high with the receivers added in. So I mean, I would say, and like we have like the other tight ends we've talked about. Jason Witten could block.
No, Jason Witten just couldn't block. Jason Witten was like having a tackle.
I would say,
Jason Witten might be the greatest blocking tight end of all time.
I mean, they would routinely have him just line up and say, "You're going one-on-one with the defensive end."
Yeah,
And just expand it out. I mean, he would just block. So you never knew for real if they were going to pass, run, because he was just. I think that's another thing I like about Jason Witten is he makes it keeps the defense guessing when he's on the field. Some of these other tight ends, you knew, okay, they're passing the ball. With him out there, you knew, or you didn't know, I guess, who was going, what they were going to do. I mean, so. And like you said earlier, Alex, he was just felt like Romo to Witten. If he wasn't throwing the ball to Des Bryant, it was Jason Witten catching the ball. I mean,
he was the sticks mover.
yeah.
Yep, he kept the offense moving, and when he, as much as I hate the Cowboys, like Jason Witten was one of those guys I watched for years and years and years and years play against my Eagles, and you'd be like, oh, we have a mismatch, our defensive end's over top of the tight end, and then Witten just stands them up, and you're like, what the hell? and then he has 10 catches for 80 yards, and you're like, all right, well, there's Jason Witten.
Yep, typical Jason Witten performance. I mean,
he was just steady as they come, always open, always did his job. That's why I had him so high.
he's very reliable. I mean, besides his first year in the league and his last year in the league, I think he only missed 2 games between 2004 and 2017. So, I mean, that's at tight end when he's doing all that physical stuff.
I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe he held the current games played streak for a while during his career.
Well, I
where
it.
like I don't know if it was before or after Eli. But I'm pretty sure he was the current guy that was playing the most games straight.
Trying to think of when Eli.
Yeah, I can't remember. But by the way, one thing I will say though that he was terrible at was announcing.
That year he retired. Sorry,
that was bad.
That wasn't your calling, Jason.
All he did was prove that just because you're a Cowboy doesn't mean you should get a booth job. Because half the booths in the NFL are filled with Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, Aikman, Romo, Moose.
Yeah.
Like, that really just leaves us with Collinsworth and Herb Street.
Yeah.
I forget Herb Street does NFL games now. He does Thursday night now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Does it with Al Michaels on Amazon Prime.
Which sucks, by the way. Why do I want Amazon Prime to have my NFL games?
It's true.
Highest bidder every time.
All right, well, that was Drew's number 4, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Uncle Doug, do you have a 4 left?
Kelsey was my 4.
Oh.
No,
Ray, you got a 4 left?
Mine was Witten. So my 4 is out.
Oh, well, I'm going to surprise everybody. My 4 is Gonzalez.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. He's my number
Tony's
1.
my number 1.
Yeah, Tony's my number 1.
I believe it was Waits, too.
Probably.
Yikes.
Well, I had to be fair on my list. I couldn't hold it against Travis Kelce and not hold it against Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez was quite literally a receiver. They had another tight end they kept on their roster that they brought in on blocking plays.
Yeah. Say Tony wasn't blocking.
But Tony Gonzalez, I believe, is fourth or fifth all time in receptions, not for tight ends, but like overall.
Yeah.
Number one for tight ends.
Yeah, number one for tight ends, but like either 4 or 5, I can't remember which, for overall. So, I just felt like that was I needed to put him on there, and I like him. I liked him when he played, and I like him now that he's a broadcaster.
I think he does a good job on Fox.
Yeah, he does.
Those guys.
But he's a 14-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro. He's on the All-2000s team. He's a Hall of Famer. Played for 2 terrible franchises that never won anything. So he didn't really get a lot of playoff success or anything. But, it's not like tight ends are going to carry franchises to playoff wins.
No. Actually, 10-time All-Pro. Remember, Alex, we're going back to football where it only lists their first teams.
Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah.
No, you're good. I just want to remind you, football. It's not like basketball when
Right, yeah.
I forget, because when I was looking at myself, and I saw it at first, I'm like, really? He's only 16, or not 16, 6-time All-Pro? And then I scroll over, they have 1 and 2 for football. I forget. But
he had a 100-catch season, which led the league at one point. He had 4,000-yard seasons, so pretty much, right there with some of these other guys we had. Kind of like Witten, he played forever. So, his longevity helped him out. It wasn't like some of these current guys that have put up 7,000 or 8,000-yard seasons, but he also played at a time where it wasn't quite popular yet until the end of his career. So he also has 111 touchdowns, which is also a pretty big number. Which is what, second all time?
yeah, it's what we decided. Gates had 118, 116.
Yeah, second all time among tight ends.
Yeah, for tight ends, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that compares to receivers. I don't know what Rice's record is.
Yeah,
It's Jerry than everybody else. We'll talk about that later. I mean, you'll see later, listeners.
There's a lot more people that would disagree with that anymore than I thought there would be.
People are forgetting how good.
Well, Gates is 14, so
Gonzalez is 17.
so he's 17th all time in total touchdown or in receiving touchdowns. Or that's total touchdowns.
That's total touchdown.
Because Tomlinson's up there.
And Emmitt Smith, yeah.
Yeah, but Jerry Rice has 207, so almost 100 more.
No one else has 200 total touchdowns. I mean,
yeah, Owens and Moss have 156 apiece, and they're both big-bodied, tall, guys that can go up and get the ball. That's crazy.
it's just.
Jerry Rice also played for like 20 years, it looked like.
Well, we're talking about a guy that played 17, so.
Yeah.
And Emmitt Smith played forever, too.
Yeah.
Screw that guy.
All right. Well, anyway, Tony Gonzalez is unanimous, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he and Gates are in.
So that's everybody's 4 and 5. So I guess we're looking at 3s. Drew, do you have a 3 left?
No, Gates was my 3.
Okay. Uncle Doug, you have a 3 left?
Gronk. Gronk's my 3.
Yeah. Gronk's my number 1.
Oh, okay.
Gronk's my 3. Wait, no, he's my 2. I'm freaking dumb. I just said Gates. I'm all over the map tonight. I have Gronk. He's at 2.
Okay, Gronk at 2, Gronk at 3, Gronk at 1. Where Wade have him?
Yeah.
Gronk at 2 for Wade.
Okay, so 2 at 2.
Dang, Wade and I are going to have the same list.
Well, you have it on your phone. To look at it and see.
Shoot, I totally forgot. He's in the group chat.
But he's not on mine.
Oh, we do have the exact same list. I didn't even look at it.
Oh, you and Wade are exact
Yeah,
same?
we're the exact same. Kelsey, Witten, Gates, Gronk, and Tony.
So your vote just gets doubled now.
Works for me.
Until we have to argue, and then his vote doesn't matter.
This is going to be interesting with only 4 of us. We can't go to the boards. We'll have fun.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about Gronk for a minute?
Yeah. 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. His 4 Super Bowls.
Questionable.
Questionable.
What's questionable?
What do you mean?
His Super Bowls.
Oh, you mean because he played for a cheater?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't there for the first 3. The ones about Spygate, he was there for Deflategate.
Yeah.
But at least he wasn't there for the first 3.
Deflate day doesn't count. Nobody gives a shit how much hair is on a
then
football.
then Gronk's count. I mean, but anyway, his Buccaneers one counts. I mean, we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk more about his stats. I mean, he's got 600 catches, 9,200 yards, 92 touchdowns. I mean, Gronk didn't play that long, and he was very injury riddled during his time too. When he was playing for the Patriots, you're always wondering, is Gronk going to play tonight? And his big old elbow guard, whatever we want to call that thing, his arm sleeve. I mean, he was Brady's number 1 target. I mean, every time. I mean, even
you always knew when Brady needed a big drive, he was probably gonna go 80 yards for a touchdown, and he was gonna throw 5 balls to Gronk.
Gronk would have at least 50 of those yards, and one of the little receivers would have the rest of it. That's what would happen. I mean, if you go back and look at those Super Bowl and playoff runs, it was him throwing the ball to Gronk late in the game, and he would just stiff arm the crap out of DBs because they couldn't guard him.
Well, and you look at his yards per catch, 15. That's the highest on all the tight ends I looked at.
Because they sent him to seam all the time.
Yeah, I was and he would just go up and get it.
It was a load to bring down.
He was not only a load to bring down, but for 265, he was very nimble.
Yeah,
he could move. Yeah, he wasn't just.
Yep.
That was my big deciding factor between Gronk and Witten. Was they're probably the 2 best blockers we have on this list. They're both guys that we could, like you said, we put on the edge and expect to block somebody, not just chip somebody. As well as they were gonna go out and catch a bunch of balls, but Gronk was the superior athlete.
Much.
But he played shorter time, so 11 years. It's not like he played nothing, but
and during those years, he would miss games.
Mm-hmm.
He only has
143 games.
There's the games he played,
1, 2, 3 full seasons.
Yeah, the rest of the time he
has a couple 15s in there as well, but
then you got a 7 and 8.
That's what happens when you're asked to do the entire job, not just half of it.
That's true, especially in New England. Belichick was going to make him block.
Yeah. By the way, it's something scary to think about. We all hate the Patriots, but how much better would those Patriots teams would have been if the other Pro Bowl tight end didn't go to prison for murder?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
because Aaron Hernandez was no joke.
Oh no, he was good.
He was really good. It's all the jokes and stuff I hear about all that, but still, because they played together 1 or 2 years.
I was gonna say 2 or 3, but
it wasn't very long.
Short time.
But the times they did, it was
they would go to 12 personnel, and you'd be like, "Oh no, we don't have an answer for this,"
right?
Because they could run it down your throat, or they could send both those tight ends out, and you're like, man, because if you put linebackers on them, they ran away from them, but if you put DBs on them, they couldn't bring them down.
Right.
Especially at that time, linebackers, because it was right when Gronk came in, wasn't Hernandez already there?
Yeah, Hernandez was there first.
I would say from 2010 to 2012. Middle linebackers then were still slower than what they are now. They're getting quicker, but back then, no. No, linebacker, you just couldn't cover them. So it's
you were hoping that you had a safety that was good enough to do both jobs, that could cover them, but at the same time tackle them.
Yeah, not just cover them, but take them down.
Right, because they were going to, even if you did have good coverage on them, they were going to pull down jump balls on you. Mm-hmm. So you had to be able to tackle them afterwards.
Well, they just box you out. How big is that? At 6'6", 260, he just boxed you out, grab it, and then you got to try and get him down without getting a running start at him.
Yeah.
And
Gronk was a load. Man. Anyway, so Gronk was not unanimous, right? You didn't have him.
No, I had him. Ray.
I did.
Oh, Ray didn't have him. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So do we have anybody left?
I got my 2.
I'll say I'm out.
So I'm out.
Yeah, I think all mine are up there.
Wade's out too. So yeah, it's just Ray left. What do you got, Ray?
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah. I almost
Yeah,
put
I
Sharp
thought
on my
about
list.
Shannon.
Yeah, he was on
Yeah.
the consideration list.
Here's another guy that didn't block.
Hall of Famer, 8-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 3-time Super Bowl champ with 2 different teams. Hall of Fame All-90s team, 10,060 yards, 12.3 yards per reception, 62 TDs. I thought pretty good pick for the list. I don't really know where to put him, but I threw him at 2.
No, Shannon's a worthy admission. I mean, Shannon was a really good tight end for a long time. You know, was on 3 Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
2 with the Broncos, 1 with the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
And he was the leading receiver on that Ravens team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've talked about this before because it was that defense, and Shannon Sharp was the leading.
Yeah.
Who was his quarterback in Baltimore?
Dilfer.
Oh,
Dilfer.
Yeah. Wasn't that Dilfer?
Dilfer,
yeah.
Dilfer.
So, yeah, you knew he had to put in extra work for that. Let's see. Let's see his games played.
204.
204.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he went back to Denver after Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he's a loudmouth on TV.
Along with the other loudmouth that I like to watch, Stephen A.
It's the worst show on television.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what. The show they had today was cracking my fucking ass up. When Mad Dog's on Wednesday, Mad Dog just kills me.
Because Mad Dog's an idiot.
Yeah, but he's funny.
But no, I think, didn't Shannon the other day call Stephen A. Skip?
Twice,
like-
2 days in a row.
Yeah, like multiple times.
It's like,
Yeah.
Skip.
The second day, he put that name tag on his sports jacket and it said, "Hi, hello, my name is Steven."
Yeah, so that's all of our tight ends. 8 of them.
More than what you expected?
Yeah, it's a little more than I expected.
So,
I knew we would have a couple, like
I knew it wasn't
when I didn't have
perfect.
Shannon on my list, I was like, somebody will put Shannon on their list, and I assumed somebody would have Kelsey. I didn't see the Ditka thing coming.
Yeah, that's the one that really got me, right? But other than that, I didn't figure all of us would have Kelsey, but I didn't know. I figured someone would have Winslow.
So we got 2 that are in,
Which is
Gonzalez and Gates.
Gonzalez and Gates, yep. So that leaves 6 guys for 3 spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we just want to move?
So who do we have left that's with 4? Has,
Yeah, I was going to say, what are our votes here?
Gronk has 4.
Witten has 4.
Witten has 4. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, because everyone else has.
So Ray, would you like to come off Ditka and come to one of those guys? Do you have
Yeah.
one of those guys you don't have?
Yeah, I'll go to Winslow.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Ditka deleted though. I mean, that's the bigger portion here.
Yeah.
So now we have 3 guys with 4, right? So we had 3 Winslows
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
Wait. No, Winslow only has 3. Because Wade and I don't have him.
Yeah.
But we're not counting Wade's, right? Since he's not here to technically defend it, is that how we do this?
well, I mean, I guess we're not letting Wade like outvote somebody. That's usually the way we
Yeah,
do it, but
right.
I'm not sure I mean,
I just don't know how I don't know how we're doing it since.
Yeah, we can't change his,
we can't change his mind.
right.
No.
So if he has if he's left alone or something, like
Well, yeah, if he's
it's-
left alone, then yeah, you turn
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So
Okay,
2 of 4.
So does anybody else have a solo?
Ray does.
Shannon Sharp.
Oh, Shannon. Yeah. So you want to change our mind, or you want to give it up?
I don't know how hard I can help out. I mean, let me see if I can go to somebody else here.
Say
So
Witten.
Kelsey's got.
Witten and.
Are you
Gronk.
off of Witten or Gronk?
Kelsey's got.
I have
3.
Witten. I don't have
Winslow's
Gronk.
got 3.
Man, that means I got to go to one of the lesser evils. Fuck my life.
Okay, Ray.
So you're coming off Shannon, huh?
I mean, it looks like it. I got to, I guess.
All right. Well, I took him off here.
So you coming to Gronk, or are you going to?
I don't really want to go to a Patriot, but then again, I really don't want to go to Kelsey.
I would say you got a Patriot or a Chief.
Oh, come on, dude.
Fuck my life. Who's got a quarter? Let's pop a quarter. Let's pop a quarter.
Normally,
flip.
you're the one that has the coin. I'll flip it if you. What was the other?
I can't believe we're flipping a coin.
Believe it, it's happening.
What did we flip a coin for the other day?
I don't remember, but you flipped it.
Yeah, I flipped it again. Was it for Michael Jordan the other day in the Wizards episode?
Oh, I think it was. Yeah.
We flipped.
All right,
What do we want? Heads.
heads for Gronk, tails for Kelsey.
All right. Tails.
So it's
Okay.
Kelsey.
Oh gosh.
Goddamn
Oh
Kelsey.
man, I just made a mess. I was hoping it was going to be Gronk. Just go and put another person on.
Yeah.
Now we're at 3 people with 4.
Kelsey.
Winslow with 3. What?
All right, so now we got what? 4 Kelseys.
4 Witten, 4 Kelsey, 4 Gronk, and 3 Winslows.
Oh,
Here's your coin
man.
back.
What do we got now?
That means at least 3 people are going to have to leave somebody in order to make somebody go on.
This is
This is mayhem.
So we got 4 Kelseys.
4 Wittens, 4 Gronks, and 3 Winslows.
Oh man.
and technically if you take Wade's off, it's 3-3-3-3. Or I think I said too many threes, but still it's because if you take Wade doesn't have Winslow, so he's on the other.
Yeah, so it's 4 threes.
Yeah, it's 4 threes. Yeah, I was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't done something like this before.
No.
No, I don't.
Like we don't have anywhere to like say, "Hey, you're on the one turn. You want to come?"
Oh man, this is tough.
The coin flip just screwed.
Man.
So, do we have a football fan we can call for an opinion that is not like a Patriots fan or a Chiefs fan or something like that?
Robert.
Yeah, you can call Robert because
Yeah.
RBD.
yeah, because Robert's a Dolphins fan, so he wouldn't have a
That's right. He doesn't have a
title
dog
on-
in the fight.
Yeah.
So, what do you want me to list?
Well, let's
Say besides Antonio Gates and Gonzalez, who's your best tight ends? You want me to say that to him?
Or
we'll just give him our 4 guys.
yeah, give him the 4 guys and tell him
Pick 3.
Winslow,
tell him
Kelsey, Witten, and Gronk.
give him the 4 guys and tell him to pick 3.
Yeah. Say out of these 4, pick.
All right, I'm gonna go
3
make a call. I'll be
best
back.
tight ends.
Say all 4 and then ask them to pick 3.
Yeah. So you
All
know
right.
the 4.
All right, what do we want to do to buy time here? You want to talk about all these fucking injuries that's been going on?
There's a few of those.
Yeah, there's been a lot of injuries. Or the crappy QB play around the NFL.
Yeah, that too. God.
Dude, by the way, none surprised me more than Joe Burrow.
I know.
He's been terrible.
Yeah, it's not been good.
Is it the calf thing that keeps lingering?
That's what he said. I mean, that's what he said after the
He's hurt
game.
again. Well, then Aaron Rodgers, 4
Oh, yeah.
plays.
4 plays, tears
I
his
mean,
Achilles.
dominated the offseason with are they going to trade him? Are they not going to trade him? What are they going to get? And then 4 plays, and he's done?
Yeah, after the entire Hard Knocks was about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just brutal.
Not only that, but their team is loaded, and now they don't have a quarterback.
Right.
Because Zach Wilson sucks.
Oh, I mean, the defense is good, and that young receiver they've got,
Wilson? Wilson, yeah.
yeah, he's legit.
They got 2 really good backs,
Yeah,
Paul
I
and
mean,
Cook.
Dalvin Cook, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're ready to go.
And then Chubb, he just got out the other
Oh,
day.
that looked-
Horrendous
that-
knee.
that looked
that was
brutal.
brutal. I mean, we were watching it, and the announcers came on and said, we're not going to show it.
Yeah.
And so we immediately went online and found it. But
All right, I'm back. He didn't answer, but I texted him, so hopefully he'll get back soon. I'm sure he's doing something at college right now. But
Okay.
well, shall we
message-
start our what if?
yeah, we can do the what if.
Then
Yeah.
go back and finish this one.
Okay.
We had to add on about my boy Nick Chubb. There was no need to hit him in his knee.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I know he breaks tackles and stuff, but still, he was wrapped up.
I mean, the guy had him pulling him down, and the guy comes in and takes him out.
There's one thing that hit him, but to hit him right in the knee when he's already wrapped up and stuff, I don't know.
That was brutal.
Man, it's his second injury to that same knee.
Yeah, because he tore it. Well,
Yeah, he
not his
dislocated-
ACL, but he tore a bunch of stuff in his.
Yeah, he dislocated and tore like everything in it the first time.
Yeah,
Hasn't he already? Was he having surgery today, or was it?
I don't know.
I think it's pretty quick though.
Well, at some point they've got to figure out what is an appropriate place to hit somebody nowadays, because it's like you can't go high. You're allowed to go low, but is that really appropriate to take out somebody's fucking career on the knees? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else these offenders got to do here.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times when you talk to the players, they'd rather get hit high. I think.
Yes,
than low.
I've
They
heard
don't wanna
multiple
get-
players say that.
They don't want to
Yeah.
get hit in their knees.
You know, they don't want to get hit in the
Well,
knees.
they always say a concussion I can usually get back in a week, but if you tear my ACL, I'm out for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
Well,
they come back at all.
Yeah.
I would say that's if you just tear your ACL, but I think that Nick Chubb's first one, he tore like his PCL, his MCL. Wasn't there isn't there an ICL or something else in your
I
knee?
don't know.
You got
He said
ACL, MCL, and PCL. I
It
think.
might have been something else, but he tore like 3 of the 4
Yeah.
the first time.
Oh.
Oh shoot, Robert's calling.
There you go.
Don't
Don't be cheating, Drew.
I ain't gonna cheat. Hello.
There was another big injury we're not thinking of.
Trying to think.
Rodgers, Chubbs.
Oh, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, by the way, Chubb and Dobbins, starting running backs on my fantasy team.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
That does you a lot of good, doesn't it?
Yes. It's great.
Well, I'm right there with you with Chubb because I made that bet the other night, and he was in my MVP spot. Fuck me on
And
that
he was playing really well.
Yeah.
He had 10 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown at that point, and I was like, and it was like early in the game, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is gonna be good. Nope.
Well, another injury. Rams are without Cooper Kupp for the first 4 games.
Yeah, because
But
of the
have you
hamstring.
seen Puka?
Yes.
That guy went off.
Yeah. You guys have been a lot better than I thought you would be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we lost the 49ers, of course.
Yeah, but the 49ers
They
are
always
like
lose
maybe
the
one of the best teams
49ers.
in football.
They are
Like-
good. But, yeah, Puka was one of these guys that they were really excited about. And the later draft pick, and, man, he went off. But we'll see how long it lasts.
And then we all thought the Browns were going to be done, but then Kareem Hunt came out of the shadows and signed his little 1-year deal.
Oh, he did? Okay,
Yeah.
good. I heard they were talking to him.
I think it's official. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
I knew he was visiting. He was back in Cleveland, so he should know the offense. He was there before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that Ford that was running with Chubb had a good game the other night.
Yeah, he was doing real
yeah,
good.
he had like a
Played well.
60-yard run and
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
I tried to pick him off waivers, and someone had already done it because I'm dominating that league already.
No, I grabbed him today in my.
Yeah, I got a notification. Twisted him in, pick up 4. I was like, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
Alex is always making moves. It's always something.
Hey, I lost Chubb. I needed him, man.
That's fine. That's
All right, so
here's
we had to go to our lifeline, and we had to call Robbie D. Robert, who's been on our podcast several times, and
Yep.
Yeah, what has he been on 3
a
episodes?
good listener.
Yeah, he's on the Dolphins, the Hawks, and the Celtics.
Yeah.
And a very good football player, by the way. He's actually a college player. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
and,
So he
Shout out
blocked
to
the punt
Robert.
last weekend, but one of his teammates was offside, so it didn't count. So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah.
yeah. So
Okay, well, here's his 3 tight ends. First, he said there's going to be recency bias, but he says, in my opinion, you just have to go with Kelsey. So Kelsey got another vote.
okay.
He said, then I got to go with Gronk. He says, even though he's not as durable as some of the other ones, he says, you got to go with Gronk.
Okay.
And then last, he said, I hate the Cowboys, but I got to go with Jason Witten just because he can block and he was durable over all the years.
Okay.
All right, so that gets rid of Winslow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Winslow's out
Yeah.
there.
Devastator.
So Gronk's in. Kelsey's in. And Witten is in.
All right, well, I got 4 of my 5, I guess.
Yeah, I got 4 of my 5.
No, that's not true. I only got 3. I had Winslow.
Yeah, I lost Winslow. But, I mean, I have no problem. He was replaced on my list with Jason Witten. So.
Oh, yeah, that's the same thing happened to me. I lost Winslow and got Kelsey.
Yeah, so, I mean,
Yeah.
it's understandable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks again, Robert.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Yeah, we
it.
appreciate it when we're down a man. To
Yeah.
split ties. Because I don't see how we were going to argue this out.
So, was this
4
your and
threes.
Wade's list?
Yeah.
So,
This
you
is
and
our
Wade
list.
got all 5.
Yeah, we got all
Wow.
5.
Well, that's bullshit.
Well, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I may have to talk to Robert later and make sure you're
Aw.
not. You're not.
That's what he
Fudging
said. I even had the comments he said about everything. His recency bias, hates the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We can't ever find anyone to bring on the podcast that likes the Cowboys.
Now, I know a bunch of Cowboys fans, and none of them will come on.
I know. They're just not doing it.
They just have to pull up their big boy pants and get your asses over here.
Yeah, as much as I would like to say that worked, they don't listen either. So. Bastards. All right, well, that's our 5 tight ends. So that will end the tight end portion of this episode and move us into What If.
Yeah.
So Drew is going to do our What If this week. Drew, what is our What If scenario?
All right, well, okay. Our what if is, what if Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt?
Ooh. Interesting.
What happens? Who gets Super Bowls? What do the Patriots look like? Is Tom Brady a nobody? I mean, we got lots of things to talk about with this. I mean,
If Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt.
if he doesn't get hit by that Jets player, was it Monday Night Football or one? It's a night game, I'm pretty sure, because that Jets player, he's basically out of bounds and he gets leveled.
I mean, well, let's start with the stats here. He was almost 60% completion rating at 44,611 yards, at about 6 yards an attempt and 251 touchdowns. So,
I mean, he was having a good career before he got hurt. I mean, he
Yeah.
already took him to one Super Bowl that lost to the Packers. And then the one year, Brady gets hurt in the playoffs, and he has to win some. He wins the AFC Championship game before he wins the Super Bowl, doesn't he? Doesn't he beat the Steelers?
Yes, I think that's right. I know he does it. Whether it was against Steelers now, I'm trying to remember.
I mean, he was one of the gunslinger quarterbacks. I mean, before he.
Yes.
I mean,
He led the NFL in completions twice. He led the NFL in yards once. Unfortunately, he also led the NFL in INTs once.
being a gunslinger, sometimes that just happens.
yeah.
I mean, there's so much to this that.
Well, I guess here's my initial reaction. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to say that, like your comment, that Brady would be a nobody, I can't get there.
I was just saying, I don't know. Like, does he ever get a chance in New England, or does he go somewhere else?
I think so.
Wait,
Because I think if the Patriots didn't have complete and total faith in Brady, they would have let Bledsoe come back. Because Brady didn't do anything after he came in.
no, I mean,
Like, he wasn't throwing for a bunch of yards. He wasn't scoring touchdowns. He was just taking care of the ball.
so yeah, we've talked about this before. I mean, those first 3 Super Bowls, he wasn't why they were winning. He was just game managing.
He was along from the ride. But, you know, it was also kind of a no-no to lose your starting job to an injury. And, that's what happened to Bledsoe. Is he was even healthy for the playoff run, and they
said no.
And they said no, like, you know, Brady's going to keep the job, which is kind of a no-no. So I think even if Bledsoe doesn't get hurt by the next season or two, Brady would take the job anyway.
Well, I think you're right. Not because Brady was a better quarterback at that time, but I believe that Tom Brady would do exactly what Belichick told him to do.
Well, that's what they did.
Yeah, and their defense and running game were very, very good. So they didn't need somebody to go out there and throw for 4,000 yards.
Right.
They needed somebody to take care of the ball.
Yeah.
So you think Drew Bledsoe would have went along with everything that went on with the Patriots?
No.
You mean the cheating?
Yeah, the cheating. Yeah, I mean, Spygate, would he have went along with all that? I mean, the other ones he would have.
Well, I mean, he was there for it anyway, so I mean, he obviously went along with it to some extent. I mean, he was still there during 2 of the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Bledsoe was? I thought he left for the Cowboys pretty quickly.
Let's see.
2001.
How long did he stay?
2001 was his last season there.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was there for.
See, New England.
They won the Super
was-
Bowl in 2001, didn't they?
The Rams won in 2000. Don't the Ravens or the Buccaneers win the next year? Because the Rams win the first one in 2000, right? And then
Right.
don't the Bucks?
And then somebody else won it the
Then
next
the
year.
Ravens
and
win. Then the
beat
Patriots
us
win.
the next year.
They beat.
Patriots won the Super Bowl in 2001. That's what it says right here.
2001 Super Bowl or 2001 season.
It was the 2001 season.
So
yeah.
that'd be the 2002 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because we won
Because
the
he's there. He's
2000.
there for the first one.
Yeah, he's
He's
there.
He's
on
there
this team.
in 02?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's there for the Rams one.
Okay.
Yes, they beat the Rams this year.
And then he leaves, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah,
go?
he's gone after that. He goes to Buffalo.
Right. So he would have only been there for the one.
So he was there for the Rams one.
Yeah.
Then it's the Eagles
which
or the
we know
Panthers
was
next.
bull crap.
I think Eagles. No. We lose to him in 04, I believe.
So the Panthers be 02, and then someone else wins in 03. Because they don't go all.
No, they don't do 3 in a row. They have 3 and 4 years.
Yeah. Because they win 2, then they have a year off, then they play the Eagles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they don't go back for a little bit.
So, but I think that team was primed and ready. I think there's a likelihood that Bledsoe may have won the Super Bowl with them anyway.
I mean, I think he could have. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you
Because-
can't tell me he couldn't have scored 17 points against the Rams. Then there were like 20 points. I mean, that defense held down the greatest show on turf to what? 17 points, Dad? 20 points? I mean, the final score was like what?
20 to 17 was the
Yeah.
final
Yeah,
score.
they beat
I mean-
us on a field goal.
And then the game before that, they won 24-17. And the game before that, they won 16-13.
You can't. Yeah,
Right.
you can't tell me he couldn't have played well enough to score those points.
Yeah. Well, and he went on to Buffalo and made a Pro Bowl.
So yeah, he had 4,000 passing yards next year. in
So, I
Buffalo.
mean, he still had good. So, yeah, I think he could have won that first one if he and Belichick could have got along.
yeah, if they get along, he.
Because Belichick doesn't want a gunslinger. And he doesn't want somebody that questions,
Well, they won the first round against Oakland, where Tom Brady.
Was that the Tuck rule?
That's that game.
Ooh, is that the Tuck game?
You said 02?
Yes.
I don't remember what year was the Tuck
I think
rule.
Tuck rules 02 because when John Gruden's in his last year. Wait.
Yeah, that's where the dynasty began.
Yeah, because they win one without it. That's the Bledsoe year. And then the next year is 02 is the Tuck rule when the Raiders
Yeah,
come.
and they win by a field goal, so that would make sense.
That's Tuck rule,
Right,
yeah.
that's-
Because it's in the snow.
But
Right.
Brady also threw no touchdowns and a pick in that game.
Right,
So it's not like Brady did anything special.
right.
The only thing he did was invent a dumb rule
Yeah.
Yeah.
that started the franchise, or the dynasty, I guess.
The dynasty cheating.
So then in round 2 against Pittsburgh, Brady was. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. Oh, this is the game Brady got hurt, and Bledsoe had to come in and finish for him.
Oh, okay.
And Bledsoe is the only one of them to throw a touchdown. Brady threw 18 times for 115 yards and no touchdown, no picks. And Bledsoe threw 21 times for 100 yards and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, he kind of helped them win that game anyway.
Yeah, but see, I knew he came in the one.
And then in the Super Bowl against the Rams, as formerly mentioned, Tom Brady throws for 145 yards and 1 touchdown. So he throws 1 touchdown and 1 interception in the entire playoff run. 1 touchdown.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, Bledsoe did the same thing. He threw one touchdown, too.
That's true. Bledsoe played a half a game and throws just as many touchdowns.
That's crazy. That just tells you how good of a defense and a full team Patriots had then. I mean, they were ready to win. They just needed a game manager. Like a lot of teams in that time period that had really good defenses and just needed a game manager to not turn the ball over. I mean, you saw the Buccaneers do it. You saw the Ravens do it. You see the Patriots do it a couple times with Brady. I mean,
I didn't really remember Kurt Warner playing this bad, but Warner threw 2 interceptions and had a fumble and was sacked 3 times.
Yeah, probably in the second half when.
they knew what was coming.
Yeah.
How many rushing yards did Marshall have?
76. 17 rushes for 76 yards. And he had 4 catches for 54 yards in the passing game. So he had a nice game.
Yeah.
Who got MVP of the Super Bowl that year?
I think it was a defensive player, wasn't it?
Was it?
Trying to think.
Was it Ty Law?
Or maybe.
I'm trying to think back to those old Patriots defense. It's hard without actually watching the game. Yeah. Trying to think. Who's there really
I
good?
think it would be listed on here.
Yeah, I'm not finding it.
Who's the Patriots really good defensive lineman at that time?
They had a bunch of them, I think.
Yeah.
I know, but I thought there was one someone had on their list at that time. Oh.
I don't know. I mean, Willie McGinnis was there. Richard Seymour was there. Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi.
Maybe it was.
Ty Law was there though, and he had an interception return for a touchdown.
Tom Brady.
Really?
It's Brady.
It's Brady. Yeah.
Yep.
Brady, really?
Brady, who completed 16 of 27 for 154 yards and a touchdown, was named Super Bowl MVP.
Oh my God, that's
Are
horrible.
you kidding me?
For 145 yards and was the MVP.
Was the MVP?
And
Oh,
a
God.
touchdown, guys. Don't forget about that. I gave it to Adam Vinatieri before I gave it to Brady because he actually
No
kicked the
kidding.
game-winning kick. I mean, I could have went out there. Are you kidding me?
Dude, Antoine Smith rushed for 92 yards. Could have given it to he rushed for only as many yards as Brady threw for.
That's.
It's like the Steve.
I really thought one of the defensive guys got it. Like I said, Ty Law had an interception and.
For a touchdown. He ran it back for a touchdown.
It's like the Steve Nash argument all over again.
Oh, don't even get me started on Steve Nash.
So this is Ty Law's numbers. He has 1 interception for 47 yards and a touchdown. He has 1 pass deflection, 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss.
See, now that would
That's
have been the guy.
That's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
For a Super Bowl?
A corner had 7 tackles, which is a nice number for He had an interception that he ran back for a touchdown in a low-scoring game,
Yeah.
and he also had a pass deflection and a tackle for loss.
That's a good game for a corner.
Yeah. Well, I was just looking at some lists, and they have a list of the 10 most undeserving Super Bowl MVPs, and Tom Brady in this Super Bowl was number 1 on the list.
I mean, it has to be. Throwing for 145 yards. We've hated on other quarterbacks when they've lost and have thrown for more yards. Remember when we hated on John Elway? When he threw I don't even know, I thought about 16 of 40 or something done for 202 yards, 2 picks, and a touchdown. But this gives a Super Bowl MVP and all the praise. It's just...
I mean, Willie McGinnis had 1 pass deflection, a sack, 6 tackles, and 3 tackles for loss.
better than Brady. I mean, it's just... I don't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I don't really remember that being the case, but then I guess the question really is though, if Bledsoe stays here and wins this Super Bowl, you can't really bench him going into the next year.
No,
No.
you can't. No, you
But
can't.
he's a free agent.
So how much do
Oh.
they... Oh.
Yeah.
So do they pay or do they let him walk because he's going to be expensive and you play Brady anyway?
So Brady, so if he doesn't get hurt, he plays the whole year and they just win it. So then they're just betting on Brady to come in.
I almost bet that's what they do. They'd let him walk because Bledsoe would probably like, I need a pay raise for getting the MVP, because that's probably who would have got that. So they're like, well, yeah, but...
Well, I mean, in all reality, Belichick wasn't into paying guys.
Right.
No, he probably would have. It'd been a very Belichick thing to do, just to let him walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And said,
probably
screw
what
it.
happened.
So then...
So, yeah, maybe it would just worked itself out regardless.
I mean, the Patriots are still going to have a dominant defense and
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
needing...
What does that do to Bledsoe's legacy? Because now he has a Super Bowl.
that he won, and he's not hurt. I mean, he didn't get hurt. I don't know how much his injury hurt him. Did it like...
He played pretty well a couple times after that. I mean, Buffalo was terrible at that time. So
yeah. I mean, after he wins a Super Bowl, does another contender go out and get him? Say, do the Ravens go out and get him with that defense? Do they sign Drew Bledsoe and say...
See, the problem with football, because we always talk about this with basketball, it's not as big an issue. But with football, you have to take the cap into consideration.
Yes,
because they have a hard cap.
I mean, his career's done in what? I don't know how many years he would have played more if he doesn't. But, like, could he play?
He plays like 4 years in Buffalo and 2 years in Dallas.
So, I mean, would the Ravens sign him for 2 or 3 years and then the Ravens get a decent quarterback till Joe Flacco shows up? David?
I said maybe, but I don't know because...
I don't know what the cap...
Is the reason they had Dilfer because they couldn't pay anybody? I don't know.
I don't know the Ravens quarterback. I'm just trying to think of someone who would need a quarterback that has a good team.
That's true.
Like, they would... I don't know what the...
this would have been pre-Roethlisberger, so maybe the Steelers would.
Do the Steelers, instead of drafting Roethlisberger, do they just pick up Bledsoe instead?
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible.
The Bears are always looking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, we would take a chance on somebody. With the Buccaneers, with their defense still, would they? Because, I mean, they had...
Brad Johnson, Sean King, and a bunch of scrubs.
I mean, would they pick him up?
Well, that's where Dilfer eventually went to, right? Was Tampa?
Or was he there before that?
Well, he won it. Isn't he the one that won the Super Bowl in Tampa?
No, Brad Johnson did.
Brad Johnson did.
Oh.
Dilfer got the one for Baltimore.
Huh. Let me look up that one.
Dilfer starts in Tampa.
Yeah, he starts in Tampa. Okay.
He goes to Baltimore literally for a year. So the next year...
That's funny.
So Baltimore's already turning over. So, yeah, I don't know how much.
I mean, maybe Tampa. I don't know. Tough times back in the day.
Yeah.
Because there was only like a couple high grade quarterbacks, and then all the rest were like mid grade. Because there was a lot of up and comers around that 2000 season. Because Steve Young was probably on his way out, right?
Yeah.
Steve Young would have been done by that point.
Done.
They probably would have had Garcia or somebody at that point.
Yeah, I would say Steve Young's done by then. I was trying to think of teams that needed a quarterback that were contenders that he would go to. I mean,
what about the Packers? What were they looking like?
They had Favre.
I mean, Brett Favre's still there.
Oh, okay.
And then
Brett Favre would have won an MVP right in there somewhere.
Yeah, I would say, because they won a Super Bowl a couple years before, and he's still winning MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
So the Packers don't. Oh, I got it. The Vikings. Could you imagine Bledsoe throwing the ball to Chris Carter and Randy Moss?
Oh,
I mean, but Culpepper had a huge season in there. He almost won an MVP one of those years.
This has been a couple years after that, wasn't it? 98 Vikings? So this has been right. Ooh, maybe not, because Randy Moss would have been asking because he leaves. I'm trying to think of when.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because the Vikings, because they lose in 98 playoffs is when they go 15-1.
In 2000 is when Culpepper had his big year. So, yeah, you're right. This would have been a few years later.
So, I
mean, Culpepper's still there, but he's not playing as well. Well, in 2004, he throws for 4,700 yards and 39 touchdowns. Who was on that damn team?
Yes, I don't remember.
Was Moss still there? I'd say him doing that well, probably so.
It's got to be.
Yeah, Randy Moss is still there.
But I mean, I'm just throwing out another one. Say they just want to get someone different.
What about Carolina?
Yeah, instead of having
Delhomme?
what was it, Kerry too?
Oh, they had Kerry Collins.
Kerry
You're right.
Collins. So instead of Kerry
Yeah, 'cause
Collins,
he was
they
their
have
number one
Bledsoe.
pick.
Mm-hmm.
And what could you imagine Bledsoe being on the Panthers that year? They go to the Super Bowl knowing.
Yeah, but Collins played pretty well.
That's what I thought. I mean,
If I remember correctly, Uncle Doug didn't Collins play pretty
he did.
well?
He started his career off pretty well.
Because him and Brunell both played pretty well early on.
They did.
didn't they have wasn't Steve Smith there? Was he there for that? Was he there?
I don't
that
think he
early?
was there that
I
early.
don't think he was there that early.
I'm trying to think who we.
Was that 2002?
Yeah, I think we decided the Panthers were that next year.
Oh, yeah. See, Steelers had Cordell, I bet. Yeah,
Cordell
Cordell Stewart. Fucking slash. Oh, here's the 2001 quarterbacks. Warner, Manning, Favre, Aaron Brooks, Gannon, Trent Green, Collins, Plummer, Garcia,
Kerry
Flutie,
Collins threw for 3,700 yards.
Brad Johnson, McNair,
Yeah,
Brunell,
McNair would have been good during that time.
Fielder,
Yeah.
McNabb, Kitna, Stewart, Couch, Gerback, Winky, Chandler, Brady, Greasy, Testaverde, and then Culpepper.
Steve Smith, the receiver, his first year was 2001.
Oh, so he was.
So, yeah, if they'd have brought him in.
Bledsoe would have been the
Of course,
next.
like I said, Kerry Collins played well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, seeing Culpepper down at the bottom of Ray's list there,
I mean,
Vikings might have been
that's
the call.
that's his down year. I mean, he has a down year. You bring in Drew Bledsoe, who's already a gunslinger throwing, and he has two good receivers. I mean, could have been some scary Vikings teams there. Randy Moss may not leave if he has a better quarterback. So I think that could be a possible spot for Bledsoe.
Who did Winky play for?
Panthers.
Oh, yeah. Testaverde. Was that his injury season?
I don't know. Testaverde was all over the place. Well, Drew, I like your question, but I think I played it out as far as the Patriots go. I think Brady takes over the next season anyway.
Yeah.
So I think he probably gets the Super Bowl, but I think Brady takes over the next season.
Yeah.
And then Bledsoe goes on somewhere else and gets a shot.
Yeah. He probably doesn't have to sign in Buffalo with a terrible team. He can probably sign
To a
somewhere.
contender with a decent team
Yeah,
already.
because they traded him to Buffalo for what, a first-round pick?
Did they trade him? I thought he was a free agent.
No, I think they traded him to Buffalo.
Well, that changes things.
Because if we're trading people, then he's staying. I mean, if he wins a Super Bowl and doesn't get hurt, why would you bench a guy? Because that changes stuff. Because then he's...
Yeah. And for a 2003 first round pick.
Okay.
Because he had signed his 10-year, $103 million contract with the Patriots. So you're right. That does change what we just talked about, because if you win the Super Bowl, they're not trading you,
and he doesn't get hurt. So there's no point. There's no reason to even have Brady in the conversation yet.
So I don't know.
Do you trade Brady? Do you trade Brady somewhere else?
Well, Brady doesn't have any trade value at that point. He's a seventh-round draft pick that's sitting on the bench.
That's true.
So then,
he's got. He's going to be a backup at that point, unless it's like we were talking earlier. He and Belichick
just can't get along.
Right, Bledsoe can't get along with Belichick, and Brady does very well.
But it's another thing. If you keep winning Super Bowls,
right,
it's like Kobe and Shaq. They didn't really get along the best, but they kept winning. Until you don't win, no one's gonna So then,
Right.
so they have to quit winning. So that means they have to lose those Super Bowls that they're going to win.
Right.
So what does Brady do in 2002 in the playoffs?
All right.
We'll see if Drew Bledsoe can't do better or about the same.
Well, that's the thing here's the thing with Bledsoe. I liked Bledsoe as a quarterback, but he went through periods of time where he was turnover prone.
Right, which Belichick hates.
Yes, which would have gotten him benched. It was only a matter of time before one of those times happened. Whether he made it that long or not at that point, I don't know. So the 2002 season is what we're looking for?
Yeah. That doesn't have to be a season. Let's just look at the playoffs, yeah. So it'd be 2002 season, 2003 playoffs.
2003 playoffs. He plays in 3 games. He throws for 92 yards and 5 touchdowns with 2 interceptions.
So we're starting to pick it up a little bit.
So in 3 games, he threw 5 touchdowns. So nothing impressive, though.
No, I mean but
it's 1.5 a game.
It's better than 1.
Yeah. And he threw 2 picks, which isn't awful, but at the same time, you're throwing a pick almost every game.
Yeah. Right.
2 out of 3 games, you're throwing a pick.
I don't see how Patriots couldn't. I mean, what was the record that year? Were they
New England?
Oh, they were only 9-7.
Yeah, Jets had the East title.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see why Bledsoe couldn't have done anything.
By the way, Brady went the entire playoffs without being sacked.
Wow.
Wow.
That's kind of incredible.
It's either a lot of holding not getting called or a really good offensive line. Probably a little bit of both.
Oh, God.
This freaking
Oh, my God.
this freaking Jets team, right? What happened?
I don't fucking know. That's
41-0 is the Colts in the wild card.
Holy shit.
But then in the 04, when they won their next Super Bowl, Brady again played in all 3 games. Obviously won all 3. He only threw for 587 yards, so 200 less yards.
Right.
Again, 5 touchdowns, but this time 0 interceptions. This time he was sacked 7 times.
How mobile was Drew Bledsoe?
More than Brady.
Yeah,
Well, I guess he gets hurt running, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But what's 587 divided by 3?
Well, it's less than 200, so
Be like 175.
yeah.
I mean, I know Drew Bledsoe's a gunslinger, probably going to turn the ball over a little bit more, but he's going to throw for more yards than that. I mean, I think they could. I mean, especially now that we know he's on his 10-year contract that he signed like a year or 2 before the Super Bowl. He's on contract to what, like 09? I mean, they'd have to dump that off on someone like they did with the Bills, but now they don't have a reason to.
Right.
And if I don't see why he couldn't keep winning these Super Bowls.
By the way, this is far off into the future, but in 2018, Brady wins the Super Bowl again, obviously, going 3-0 in the playoffs, where he throws 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Isn't that the year they beat the Rams? Remember when its final score 13-3?
Yeah. I think so.
Yes, 13-3, and they won the Super Bowl against the Rams. They beat Kansas City 37-31, but if he only threw 2 touchdowns the entire playoffs, how did they score 37 points against the
There's
Chiefs?
probably at least one defensive one. I know they ran the ball a bunch because Rex Burkhead, he scored like 2 or 3 touchdowns.
I'm pulling it up.
All right, I know Burkhead scored the one in overtime. I know that because I remember I was watching with my friend Alex, who's a Chiefs fan.
Sony Michel had 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rex Burkhead had 41 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So they scored 4 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns right there. And then defensively, doesn't look like they scored any defensive touchdowns. That's only 28 points though. They should have.
If he threw one, that'd be 35.
Oh, let me look, see if he threw one. Yep, he threw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
In that game.
Drew, you remember this year?
2006. Oh, get out of here, Ray. Get out of town. Maybe Bledsoe comes with the Bears for the next dynasty.
There you go.
I mean, if we don't have Rex Grossman, Ray, get out of here.
I'll say, who was your quarterback in 0-1.
Who knows? Probably like 4 different guys.
Well, I mean,
if he comes to the Bears, we're starting to build the defense.
maybe
Urlacher's
the Bears pick
there.
him up.
We could just get a little offensive help. Get out of here. Devin Hester won one game by himself
Yeah, that's probably true.
against the Cardinals. I think he had like 2 punt returns and a kickoff.
Jim Miller.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, you could have used Bledsoe.
He threw for 2,300 yards and 13 touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
We don't need a game manager, guys.
And he had 29 rushing attempts for negative 19 yards.
He was a real speedster.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's
Who
good.
else is on the roster?
Anthony Thomas was your running back. He had almost 1,200 yards. I don't know the rest. Olin Cruz was there. On defense,
That's Urlacher and before the other guys.
Who's your leading receiver that year?
Who knows? Again, I was live before this. I don't remember.
Marty Booker had 100 catches for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. I don't know who that is.
I don't know. It doesn't.
And then Des White had 45 catches for 428 yards and 0 touchdowns. And then your tight end, Fred Baxter, had 22 catches for 148 yards.
Oh, my.
Oh, that's good. I'm so impressed with this Bears team.
You gotta get used to it when you're a fan. It just doesn't. It just doesn't faze me anymore. Hester's a rookie. I don't know if Bledsoe. I don't know how good Bledsoe will be by 06 when we make the Super Bowl. But by
2006, you said?
yeah,
What did he do? What did Bledsoe do in 06?
he's not in the league anymore. But that's how long his contract was through like 09 though. So I don't know how.
So who was paying Bledsoe for? Was his contract not guaranteed?
Oh, probably
wasn't guaranteed.
Probably wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, 2006 is his last season in the NFL. He plays six
Wait,
games.
no, wait. Would it be 2005 and the 06 Super Bowl? Would that have been?
Was that your 06 Super
Yeah.
Bowl?
So that year before he throws for
3,600 yards and 23 touchdowns.
Oh, that's better than what you had.
boy, Ray.
Good thing it's a what if, right?
That's right.
Good thing, yeah. Whole Rexy G wasn't getting the job done.
No.
What? So in 05, Grossman threw for. Oh wait, that can't be it.
Oh no. So dang, it's the next year.
It's the next year. 'Cause
So
he threw for 3,200 yards and 23 touchdowns.
20 picks.
He's also 20 picks. But Bledsoe
20 picks?
yeah. But Bledsoe threw 17.
Oh,
So.
jeez.
But then in Washington in 2011, Grossman threw for 3,116 TDs and 20 INTs again.
Again.
Man.
It was.
No, that's a pretty good question, Drew.
It just opens up a lot of.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm supposed to go next with the what if,
Okay.
and my what if is similar to yours.
Really?
Actually, I thought you were taking it when you started talking. So I was like, oh crap. So,
I don't like doing saying if someone gets hurt, but I thought this one he actually comes back and plays, and it affects more than just that year. It affects a lot of the NFL.
Right.
it affects Tom Brady's legacy potentially. So that's a big,
Oh, yeah.
that's a
One of
big
our
question.
dynasties of my lifetime.
Yeah.
The only dynasty of my lifetime.
NFL wise, yeah.
Yes, NFL wise. That's the only dynasty I've seen.
Right, because if they don't have Brady to get these last Super Bowls after Bledsoe would have retired,
Right.
Talk
do
about
they even get them?
Right, you're also talking about a 7th round pick in Brady, and I'm not saying Brady wasn't good, but what I'm saying is 7th round picks a lot of times don't make rosters.
Right.
They don't even get chances. So what I'm saying is, if he doesn't get his chance at these first Super Bowls, and let's say he ends up getting cut, does anybody even pick him up?
Right.
Because nobody was impressed with him before.
Yeah.
no.
That could have really, just completely ruined Brady's career.
Oh, yeah.
Just because no one will take a
He
chance.
could have been done.
Yeah.
And he really did fall in the right spot.
Oh, yeah.
He did exactly what Belichick said.
Yep.
There's only a couple of places he could have gone to and done what he did. He probably could have done what he did in Pittsburgh, because another team with a great defensive running game. That's what Roethlisberger did his first Super Bowl or two.
Oh, yeah.
He was just a
Roethlisberger
game
played
manager.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just a game manager. I mean, it was later, but that's what Russell Wilson did in his Super Bowl. He was just a game manager that
for
handed
the
the ball
Seahawks,
off to beast mode.
And their defense that was just
Yeah.
killing people.
Yeah, I mean,
he could have went
The Legion
there.
of Doom.
The Ravens could have drafted him.
yeah, I guess. I mean, because the Ravens took a quarterback around that time. Who did they take?
Ooh, I don't doubt.
They took a quarterback around that time, and then I think he got hurt, and that's why Dilfer ended up playing.
Yeah, because they get Dilfer just for that year.
Yeah.
And then he leaves. Because like Ray had to pull up earlier, he's in
I was
Tampa.
trying to think who was?
He comes to Baltimore, then he leaves. He's only there for that year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then they signed Steve McNair.
Yeah, who was that?
Yeah.
quarterback?
But who, what year was the Ravens Super Bowl?
Are they between the Rams appearances? Because they beat the Giants.
It's the 2000 season. Let's go all the way back here.
Let's see here.
2000 season.
Yeah, so yeah, it's between the two.
Well, it says here Tony Banks played part of the year.
Oh, that was ex-Ram.
Yeah. But that's definitely not who I was talking about, though.
Let's see. Passing: Tony Banks, Trent Dilfer, Chris Redman, and Jermaine Lewis. And one of them was a wide receiver, so he must have got a trick play in.
Well, that Chris Redman, he's only 20. Chris Redman's only 23, so he would have been fairly new. I'm not sure where they drafted him, though.
Let's see.
Out of Louisville, okay.
859th.
He's taken in the third round of the 2000 draft.
Maybe my timeline was off, because this is not ringing a bell. I thought they took a decent...
Well, a couple years later, they took Flacco.
Yeah, I'm looking through their teams to see see if anybody falls. There it is, right here. In 2004, 2003, they draft Kyle Bowler. Remember? He was a big name coming out.
Yeah.
And he ended up flopping, though.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick in 2003.
51% completion percentage.
7 TDs, 9 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yikes.
In 11 games. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, no. So, there's a couple spots Brady could go if they decide he's leaving, or there's a couple places Bledsoe could go.
Well, there's more chance that Bledsoe's going to do something because really nobody's going to want Brady. He was a little-known quarterback out of Michigan, went in the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
And until he, 2 or 3 years in, he just wasn't on anybody's radar.
Yeah.
Well, this will help you, Ray. If Tom Brady doesn't become what Tom Brady is, does Peyton Manning just dominate the AFC? All those games the Patriots cheated him out of and beat him. Does
You're
Peyton
damn
win?
right.
Does Peyton win?
That's a distinct possibility. We're talking about Peyton Manning having 5 or 6 Super Bowls.
Because
Yeah.
it felt like every year
That's right.
he loses every year to the Patriots. Like they get him and get him and get him.
Right.
Because I think Peyton was good enough to beat Roethlisberger. That was the other team.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for a while they had to deal with San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah.
San Diego finds ways to lose games. We could talk about that.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you were talking about more than just one Super Bowl beating the Bears, sadly.
Yeah.
The Bears.
But yeah, I think it's a real possibility. They could win.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Good thoughts.
True that.
Oh. I actually was looking at a article the other day talking about Peyton Manning's playoff career and how his reputation is how he didn't get it done in the playoffs. But they're like, if you take out his first 3 years, well, it's not his first 3 years in the league, but his first 3 playoff appearances, where he drug a really crappy team to the playoffs and got beat in the first round. If you take those 3 appearances out, his numbers are actually better than Brady's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's when he showed up on an inept team, in his second, third, and fourth year in the league, and he didn't play well. He played bad. Like, there's no way around it. He played bad. But, that's when he's 23, 24.
Right, he's trying to carry the team.
And he's trying to carry a team. Once they put a relatively decent team around him and he calmed down a little bit, he actually played really well in the playoffs.
Got him Marvin Harrison, got him a number 1. Later on, they brought in Reggie Wayne. They overlapped a couple of years. They got a defense somewhat.
Ed Marshall Falk, followed by Edwin James.
Yes.
Yeah.
They started finally putting a team around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean,
It's interesting to think about those sort of things.
I must say, I think I saw a thing about Brady. He's never not had a top 10 defense. And Peyton, some of the other guys don't even have top 20.
Yeah.
Well, I always said this, and a lot of Brady supporters get pissed off about it, but I'm like, you remember when we all made fun of Peyton Manning his last year in the league when he won the Super Bowl, but he wasn't very good anymore?
Mm-hmm.
What he did in the playoffs was what Brady did for 3 Super Bowls.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's what he did for the first 3. We just went over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He threw for 145 yards in the Super Bowl and won MVP.
Right.
If we did that for anybody else, what a loser.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the narrative that...
Lived a charmed life.
Mm-hmm. No, don't get me wrong. Later,
Yeah, he became good.
he became a really great quarterback that threw for a bunch of yards and touchdowns.
I mean, he has tons of 5,000 yards.
I'll give him credit. He improved himself and got better.
Right.
Yeah.
He
was just put in the right situation and pulled a couple strings behind.
Yeah.
And had the biggest security blanket of all time. Gronk.
So, yeah. Well, do we have anything to add to this, or are we just rambling at this point?
I think we covered it pretty
Yeah, I
good.
think we covered it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this tight end episode. We appreciate you tuning in next week for our crap.
What we've done. QB safety lineman.
What did we say we were doing with tight
Tight
end?
ends.
Crap.
Next week will be cornerbacks.
Cornerback, as in defensive cornerback.
Yes,
Yeah.
corner.
With a C.
Yes, with a C. Good job.
Thank you.
We would also appreciate you emailing us, commenting. Sorry, go.
Sports the NEMO Way at gmail.com.
Yes. Comment, subscribe, rate, review, anything.
And if you have what if ideas for us, send them.
Oh,
in.
yeah,
We'll be glad
submit
to
the
discuss them.
a what if. We might use them
Yeah.
on an episode. That'd be great. We don't have to come up with the what ifs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think that'd be really cool for fans to submit what ifs for us to use. I didn't think about that, Uncle Doug. Great idea.
Bring it on, Lene.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.